Bright Duty. Every student matters.
First of all, manure. These are natural substances which are used to improve the soil fertility. So, main important point here is these are naturally made. These are organic substances formed by decomposition of animal waste and plant waste. So, the animal waste and plant waste, it is left to decompose and it is converted into manure. This manure is added to the soil and this improves the soil fertility. The manure, it supplies small quantities of nutrients. It is not very rich in nutrient, but it is rich in organic matter which is called humus. Okay. This organic matter is very important for the soil as it maintains the water holding capacity, it improves the texture of the soil, it also helps in growth of microorganisms which are good for the soil and growth of the crops. So, depending upon what type of material is used to make manure, manure can be divided into three types. First is compost, vermicompost and green manure. First of all, compost. The farm waste materials are decomposed in the pits and it is rich in organic matter and nutrients. Alright. So, big pits are dug in and all kinds of waste like the farm waste, like after harvesting, suppose wheat and rice they are taken up. So, whatever stocks are left, it is the farm waste. Then cow dung, all such animal waste, vegetable peels, domestic waste, sewage, even the sewage, all these are put together in the pits and they are left to decompose. It takes about 3 to 4 months for these organic waste to get converted into compost. Now, in case of compost, sometimes what happens, earthworms or the red worms, they are added into the compost. So, they break down the larger particles into small food particles. So, they fasten the product. It becomes the time period to convert into compost, it gets shortened. So, by the use of earthworms, this process becomes hastened. Preparation of compost by using earthworms is called vermicomposting and earthworms make this process faster. The third one is green manure. Alright. Now, some plants like sun hemp or guar, they are grown and mulched by plowing them into the soil before sowing the seeds. These green plants turn into green manure. They provide nitrogen and phosphorus. So, what happens? Plants like sun hemp and guar are grown. They grow up very fast. Within 10 to 15 days, they grow up to a certain height. Then plowing is done. So, these plants, they get uprooted and they get mixed up in the soil. So, there they are decomposing and slowly releasing the nutrients and then the seeds are sown for the crops and the crops they absorb those nutrients from the soil. This type of manure is called the green manure. So, these are the three types of compost, vermicompost and green manure. Now, what are the advantages of manure? First of all, it enriches the soil with nutrients and improves soil fertility. Alright, as I just told you, they provide nutrients, although not in very good quantity or large quantity, but they provide nutrients and they improve the soil fertility. So, the crops will grow better if the soil is manured. Secondly, it adds organic matter which is called humus to the soil. This improves the soil structure and texture. For example, in sandy soil, if this manure is added, the water holding capacity of the soil improves. Okay, water will not run off immediately, the soil will retain the water. On the other hand, if it is added in the clay soil, this humus will avoid waterlogging and the crops will grow better. Thirdly, it helps in recycling of farm waste because since the manures, they are made from the plant waste, animal waste, cow dung and domestic waste. So, in a way we are producing less waste. So, this is also good for the environment. It helps in recycling of this waste. And lastly, it protects the soil from the harmful effects of excessive use of fertilizers. I will just tell you in the next section what are the harmful effects of fertilizers. So, this manure is protecting the soil from those harmful effects. So, by adding humus, it is helping the soil in texture, microorganisms which are helpful for the plants and soil, they can also grow because of this presence of humus. So, there are many advantages of manure. But however, some disadvantages also. First of all, they are not nutrient specific. All right. If a farmer knows that for a particular crop he needs specifically nitrogen. So in case of manure, we don't know which nutrient is rich in this manure. They are not nutrient specific. They generally have small amount of mini nutrients. Secondly, they sometimes contains weed seeds, and which results in the weed growth. All right, because they also contain animal waste like cow dung. Okay, so that cow dung sometimes has seeds in it. When it is added into the soil, those seeds they germinate and start growing. So it leads to weed growth. Thirdly, green manure is slow in action as it takes long time to decompose. So these are few of the disadvantages of using manures. Now next type of substance which improves the soil fertility is fertilizers. They are commercially produced organic or inorganic compounds. They are not natural products, they are commercially produced by using chemicals. They contain essential plant nutrients, which I just told you, all macro and micronutrients, they are present in this fertilizers. They are used for increasing the soil fertility. They supply all the major macronutrients, that is, in short it is called NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Fertilizers have concentrated amount of these nutrients. So what are the advantages of fertilizers? Firstly, they are easily available, easy to use and easy to store. Unlike manure, manures are bulky, not easily available. They take months to form. All right. Secondly, they contain high amount of nutrients and they are nutrient specific. All right. So if a farmer needs more amount of NPK, he'll buy the fertilizer which supplies good amount of these macronutrients. Thirdly, they ensure good vegetative growth and healthy plants, because by supplying good amount of nutrients, the plants they grow healthy, they grow faster. But on the other hand, again there are some disadvantages of fertilizers. What are these? Firstly, excessive use of fertilizers can cause water pollution by getting washed away when they are not fully absorbed by the plant. So if excessively fertilizers are added and if plants are have not absorbed, what will happen during rainfall? This water takes with it the excess fertilizer. They get mixed up in the water bodies like rivers or ponds, and that water body gets polluted with these chemicals. Okay, it's a very serious problem because that water is consumed by humans as well as by aquatic life. Next, continuous use of fertilizers can destroy soil fertility. All right, excessive use not only does not improve, it also has harmful effects. First of all, organic matter, the humus, is not replenished. Okay, organic matter is not there in fertilizers, so it is not replenished in the soil. Secondly, growth of microorganisms is inhibited because of these chemicals. These two are major drawbacks of using fertilizers on a long-term basis, and so they provide only short-term benefits. So I told you about advantages and disadvantages of using manure as well as of fertilizers. Fertilizers have short-term benefit while manures have slow but long-term benefit. So for maintaining soil fertility, short-term benefits of using fertilizers and long-term benefits of using manure must be considered in order to aim for optimum yield in the crops. So farmers have to decide what to use and in what ratio. Sometimes mostly they use combination of both manure and fertilizers. All right. Another point to be discussed here is organic farming. Okay, you must have heard it's a latest trend that organic food is available in the market. How does it help? It is an environment friendly farming system. So the fertilizers, these are all chemicals, fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides, they are either not used or there is a minimal use of these chemicals. Now what do they use? First of all, organic manure is used. I just told you, manure is prepared from the natural sources like plant waste, cow dung, domestic waste, vegetable peels. So these are used to prepare manure, and only manure is used in the field while doing organic farming. Then biofertilizers are used. These include green algae or green algae cultures, or good some bacteria which cause nitrogen fixation. Okay, there are certain bacteria which lead to nitrogen fixation, that is they convert atmospheric nitrogen to nitrogen salt. So using these blue green algae cultures and these good bacteria, what happens, the fertility of the soils automatically increases. All right, and then for storage, use of biopesticides. Okay, chemical pesticides are not used, like neem leaves or turmeric are sprayed, turmeric powder is sprayed, or neem leaves are kept while storage, so they prevent the growth of pests or insects. So healthy, thirdly, healthy cropping system is followed, like mixed cropping or intercropping is used. So by using all these methods, we are minimizing the use of chemicals. That is why this type of farming is called organic farming. It is very, very beneficial. It lowers the cost, first of all. Secondly, it is very beneficial for us. It is a healthy food. It is free from chemicals. And it is good for the environment also, because we are minimizing the use of chemicals. So we are minimizing the pollution of water as well as soil. So we must all try to follow the organic farming and try to eat the organic food available in the markets.